said by WHO is the intentional alteration of one's natural skin color into something relatively, if not substantially, lighter in color through the use of skin lightening agents, either manufactured, homemade, or the combination of two. I believe that the incidence rate of this very canker among our youth has reached an epidemic proportion, and it looks as if the popular saying black is beautiful is not seeping through our youth of today, which is why I have my guest with me on the show to discuss skin bleaching and delve into it, finding answers to how we got to this place. In case you are wondering, you are watching PromiseTalk, the only show that talks about the things you think about. And of course, I am your host, Promise BLEACHING. Let's take this break, and when we come back, you get to meet my guests. Stick and stay. Welcome back from that quick commercial break. If you're just tuning in, this is PromiseTalk and we are discussing skin bleaching. So my guest today is Mr. Teranyahum, and he is a social theorist and the monitoring and evaluation officer at Ghana AIDS Commission. He is a husband, a father, and the list can go on and on. Mr. Teranyahum, you're welcome to PromiseTalk.
Thank you very much.
Nice to have you here.
I'm blessed to be here.
And you look good. I like your glasses.
Promise, there's been a while since we met.
Sure.
And I consider it a blessing to be here because I can see the promise in you, like your name suggests, that there's so much vision in this. Yeah, and when I think we have postponed this interaction for some time
so
now.
thank God today we have you on the show.
Yes, today I wanted to be really part of this, and I'm glad to be here. Yeah.
So you are a researcher, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to ask you, is there a difference between toning and skin toning and skin bleaching?
Okay, before I answer that question, I think we have to put this particular topic in context. And by context, I mean, why are people doing that? Why are people toning? Why are people bleaching? But I'll answer it, then I'll get to the context. And basically, when you say toning or bleaching, it's the same thing, because the idea is depigmentation. That's you have a particular color, you want a different color. And there's a genesis, there's a reason, there's a notion behind it that makes people to do it. Because obviously, as a sociologist, let me put it that way, and as a person who do a lot of research into social stuff, what I can say is that for humans to do something, then it means there's a reason why they are doing that. Yeah.
Sure. All right, I get it. So, why do you think black folks bleach?
Okay,
what's the underlying cause?
I think that perception that blacks are the ones that bleach is wrong.
Okay.
And it's erroneous. And the reason is that when you go to India, they spend more money on bleaching products as compared to Africa.
Really?
Yeah. The Indians bleach a lot.
Okay.
You know, you realize that the Indians and even Middle East. Okay. So I think it's like a triangle. We have Africa, we have Middle East, then we have India. Sure. Basically, people who have a bit darker skin. You know, in Ghana, we say that, oh, you're brony, but to them, they look dark. They feel dark. You know, there are Indians who have the color, it's like a tan skin. They don't want that color. They want it to be white.
All right, so Mr. Terra, what do you think is the underlying cause? Why are people, most black folks bleaching their skin?
Okay. In fact, honestly, the reason why I agree to be here is because I think that there's a serious issue when it comes to our confidence as black people. Okay. But I want to indicate clearly that it's not only black people that bleach. That's what I want to get to.
Okay.
That we have India, some Asian countries, Middle Eastern countries that also bleach.
Yes.
But I think that the transition from being black to being white or light-skinned is more glaring. Yes, it's more glaring. Because if, for instance, an Indian bleaches, the difference will not be that clear as compared to somebody who is black and is bleaching. And the reason is simple. The reason is that an idea has been put that in our minds that, you know, in our proverb, there's an account proverb says that, now that means if you see a white man when you're going to church, you should get back because you have seen Jesus. The picture of Jesus Christ is painted like Jesus Christ is white. And if Jesus Christ is white, then the ideal to get to is being white. So the main reason is because we think that being black is inferior, being white or having a light skin is superior, basically.
Okay, some psychologists are of the view that the underlying cause could be because we were colonized by these whites. What's your take on it?
Yeah, for somebody who has also studied history, it's only when the white person came that's when we started developing that thing. I think the idea is that anybody who looks a bit different from the bunch, it's unique. You know, in sociology, we have something we call scapegoating. But scapegoating can take a different turn. Scapegoating is like if you look different, it means that you are the one to be blamed for anything bad that happens. For instance, if somebody is married and the husband goes in for a light-skinned person, the person will saw the light-skinned person more than a black-skinned person. Why? Because he will be thinking that it's because of the person being light-skinned. That's why the husband is going.
Yes, and that's what we're trying to find out. How did we get there? Because the white is not better than the black.
Yeah, so I think it's a combination of those. But basically, I will agree with you on the score that colonization played a role. Played a very big role. I think stations like Fatia Fatankoma, for instance.
Sure.
For instance, because Fatia was an Egyptian and he was light-skinned, and therefore it had the status of Kwame Nkrumah deserves somebody who also have a light skin or other things. So I think it's there. We think that anything white is superior, is more intelligent, is the best, basically.
Sure. So we'll have to take a break, but before we go, I've discovered something. I realized that most of our African leaders, when you check on them, you realize that they all got married to women with light skin color. And you also realize that most of our celebrities, those that the youth out there look up to, are all those who were, black, are now turning into white ladies. And now the men who are joining in, and I don't know what is happening, but then let's take this break. When we come back, we'll continue. Viewers, they're taking this break. When we come back, the discussion continues. Back from that quick commercial break. The conversation has been so exciting and I'm enjoying it really. So Mr. Terra, before we went on the break, I remember I mentioned some things. Looking at analyzing our African leaders and all that, you realize they have wives with skin color, whites, they are fair, all their wives are fair. And most of our celebrities too are now turning from black people to white people. And so my question is, do you think that skin bleaching is a benchmark for success and beauty in life?
Let me correct a notion here.
Okay.
We have people who are light-skinned. They are born light-skinned.
Yes, that's fair.
So I think putting everything into context, since we are talking about bleaching and toning, is that we have to look at it in the sense that when people who are light-skinned are the ones the men go in for, then it will push ladies who are not light-skinned to also get that light skin.
Yes.
That will make them to bleach, to tone, whatever they call whitening, with its attendant health and other problems that they get. And I think basically it's not a benchmark. We all know that there are great men who are not light-skinned.
But then let's look at what is trending. You realize that most of the people we are seeing on our screen, let's say, should you walk a distance from where we are even to the junction, you realize that most of the signboards are those with lighter skin. What is happening? So does that mean if you are not white and you are good, you can't be put on a billboard or you can't marry a president or what? Because now it's making our youth to also get themselves these white, light colored skin, so that they can also probably get a president to marry them, or land themselves a modeling contract. So that's why I'm asking, is that the benchmark? Should one have to be white before?
I don't know why people are pushed to it, because sometimes I think that it really defeats the purpose. For instance, when you go outside and you want to get yourself into a modeling agency, they want your natural skin. They don't want you to be bleaching and coming to wear their clothes, Gucci and the rest. No, I don't think so.
Unfortunately, when you go outside and you want to be a model, they like your black color, but then those down here,
so it's a value system. And as a student of sociology and as a person that studies human behavior, it's our value system. my dear. It's a value system.
Okay.
I think we place some value on being white. We place some value on having light skin.
Okay, so
and therefore women or ladies are forced to be like that because I think we see some intrinsic beauty in that as compared to being black.
okay,
Yes.
so are you against the fact that that is becoming the trend of today? Or
Obviously, there are many who want women to bleach and they are okay with it.
Okay.
It's about value system. I don't really value it as a person. I think that with the health challenges it brings and with all the other problems it brings, and I think the core of it is self-confidence.
Okay.
And self-esteem.
Okay.
If your self-esteem is intact, if your self-concept is intact, you don't be thinking about bleaching.
Okay.
Because the personality counts.
Yeah.
Are you intelligent? Are you a visionary person? Are you a woman? Sometimes we see beauty not just by your skin, but the way you talk, the way you walk, the things you do.
Sure.
Basically, that brings those things out.
Sure.
So it's not just your skin. And you and I know very well that those who do those things are people who are normally in the entertainment industry or are in the industry where they want to showcase something. But if you want to bring something of value, of impact to society, your skin does not really matter. We know that.
I love that.
Yes, and I want to add this.
Okay.
That when we bleach and we tone down, it makes it right for a white person to insult your color.
Sure.
And to place a value on that.
Sure.
I think that what we have done to ourselves and why I also came to this particular topic and I want to come and discuss with you is that we normally talk about racism, but I think we do an internal racism. And so now we do it, I call it a racism that is suicidal, whereby we do it our own self, whereby when I start bleaching, it means I'm trying to say that white man, what you are saying is right. My color is wrong, and therefore I want to take on your color.
And that is a
Yes.
no-no. So recently I heard in the news that the government is trying to ban these bleaching products into our country. Do you think it's the best step they are taking, or they should do more? Do you think that would end the situation?
It's a policy thing. Policy thing helps because, and I think that they are banning most of the times. Most of these bleaching agents and chemicals have health concerns, and I think that the laws of the country gives power to the government to make laws or to bring up programs that prevents those chemicals from coming and causing health care. And they are more concerned with the health impact that it will have on the people.
So you think it's the best?
I think it's in the right direction, but people have their rights. Let's also put it that way.
Sure.
Yeah, people have their rights.
Yeah,
If it's not possible, people have their rights to
Very
and other
true.
things. Yes.
I guess you're on that. There are lots to talk about on this very issue, but unfortunately we don't have a lot of time to go on and on and on. And so we're going to leave it here. Maybe some other time we'll call you to come back and then we continue.
Okay.
But then we have this segment on our show called Burning Questions, where we ask guests some intriguing questions for them to answer. So I hope you are ready for that.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we are taking a break. When we come back, viewers, Burning Questions is up next. All right, so we are back. I'm still here with Mr. Terra. Mr. Terra, you said you are ready, right?
Yeah.
All right. So my question number one to you is, what book has changed your life and why? What book has changed your life and why?
Ben Cassie's book, Gifted Hands.
Okay.
It changed my life because I think I had a similar childhood, very rough childhood, poverty, where I was living, no water, electricity. And I think it was a motivating factor for me to be where I am right now. So that really changed me, yeah.
Okay, so can you mention the book's name again? Maybe somebody out there would want to grab it.
Gifted Hands.
Gifted Hands
Yeah,
by
Ben Carson.
Okay,
Yes.
so Mr. Terra, thank you very much for coming on the show. I'm sure we'll call you next time and then you will come, right? Alright, so viewers, this is where we draw the curtains, and the show has been exciting and educative. I've learned a lot and I know you have as well. Well, personally, I believe that we are in a free world where adults are free to do whatever thing they want to do with their skin. But then I would also advise the youth to be comfortable and love their natural skin, because just as the guest said, beauty is not all about the outer parts. I mean, it controls, it's all about your personality. And you wouldn't want to bleach and regret, as people are beginning to regret their skin right now.